Imagine spending over $140,000 on an addition, the contractor's long gone, the job's nowhere near done, and there are issues everywhere.
We're in a situation where if we don't get help, we're gonna have to sell our house.
All that ductwork's coming out, all the plumbing's coming out, all your electrical, pull it all out.
When you lose stuff, it can be pretty soul-destroying.
The homeowners actually gave the contractor every chance in hell to complete the job.
You don't think that you have an emotional attachment to a house, but you do.
This makes contractors have a bad name.
It
I'm
really
telling
does.
you right out,
It does.
There's gotta be a good place in hell for sons of bitches like this.
Hi, Peggy.
Hello.
I'm Mike.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you, Don.
Hi, Mike.
How are you?
I've been better, Mike.
Peggy and Don lived in this bungalow for over 14 years, but their 2 kids, they saved all their money for this addition.
We
Yeah.
love the community and we
Yeah.
love the lot. It's a large lot with mature trees backing out onto a golf course. We always thought, you know, we have $1 million lot with the crappy house, but we'll work on the house.
The idea was quite simple. 3-bedroom, 2-bath on the 2nd floor, and on the main floor, make a bigger kitchen, move it to the back of the house. Total budget, $225,000.
For $50,000, our agreement and alignment was that he would complete phase 1 and some of the start of phase 2. And so phase 1 says demolition and framing.
To start phase 2, they needed another $37,000, and that's when the problems begin.
We all decided somehow that we needed stairs. And all of a sudden,
Yeah.
stairs become an extra, about $7,000.
We were supposed to get, at that particular time, our roof fully finished with soffits and everything else, and we don't have any soffits there, obviously. We were supposed to get a new garage door, no new garage door. We were supposed to get our doors done, no new doors.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck are you doing? Because it looks like you don't know what you're doing.
He had actually suggested to us that we needed to give him $30,000 for custom kitchen cabinets. And you tell me, are we ready for custom kitchen cabinets? I think not.
You heard the song Caught in a Trap by Elvis Presley?
Of course.
You feel like you're in that trap?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least you have heat.
Yeah, we do. We have heat.
$142,000 out of pocket. The job's not even close to being done. The contractor's long gone. As soon as I walked in the door, I knew there were issues. Right here's a point load. They've cut the floor here. If you think this is holding anything, it's not. Here's one floor joist here. Here's the 2nd floor joist right here. The point load supports the 2nd floor with nothing underneath it. Who does that? Someone that doesn't know about structure. How many different, let's call them carpenters, were here?
Every time we would come and kind of show up, there'd be a different tradesperson that would be doing the framing. And we'd be saying, well, where was, Pablo from 2 weeks ago? Well, he's no longer working on the job. As we kind of went on in our investigation, we found out he wasn't paying the trades the money that we were paying him.
I'm gonna be pulling all these walls, just so you know right now.
Right.
Because they should have sheeted this floor before they put up these walls.
It started off with maybe 5 guys working. By the end, there was 1 guy working.
Because he should have a temporary set of stairs in here. Like, inspectors won't even walk this ladder.
temporary stairs.
Yeah, that's not even a proper ladder. I remember that in the hay house when I was a kid. Why do you have your ductwork in the attic?
Why? That's where they put it.
We don't put ductwork in the attic. Did you ask for this?
No.
It's about 140 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer, and you're trying to blow in cool air. It's too much work to wrap it tight. It's too much work to try and maintain it, and it's just not smart. I'm gonna take this all out.
Oh, my God.
Didn't really secure his top plate, did he? No, he did not. You see, that's not a good thing, really.
Right.
Wow, I've got a job on my hands.
We gave this supposed contractor $50,000 at the beginning of the project. Within days, he took off to Europe. At that point, the roof had been sheared off the house, and we had 5 or 6 days of consistent heavy rain, and consequently our basement was destroyed, wet, and now we have mold in the basement.
I may have to shut your house down and bring an abatement company. See how we have the surface mold growth here, right across the bottom and the top? Obviously, this area was very wet.
It was very wet. Our original panel, the electrician said when he opened it up and it was just filled with water. The water just came in. Don and I would come at night and put tarps on with my son Taylor, and we would literally be tarping our house.
One Sunday, we spent 5 hours ourselves trying to tarp our house and protect our house.
Can't believe how bad this is. Look at it. There's a cushion on the floor. Like, everybody seemed to walk through your house not giving a damn of you or your property. What's left of the belongings was in the basement and the garage, all covered with dust and mold.
You're constantly in this crisis
Stress.
mode. You can't sleep at night. Every thought is about the house being destroyed, the finances involved. You feel like everything is coming against you.
For the past 9 months, the family's been living in a tiny condo trying to figure out what to do.
I just don't like seeing our house in ruins. I mean, this is the home. Sorry. This is the home we've grown up in, like, our whole lives, and it just really sucks that someone would do this to us. So I don't like looking at it because it's just in ruins, and I just want it to be built already.
Unacceptable.
I guess we don't expect miracles, but I guess we're hoping for a miracle, because when your house is destroyed, there's got to be a good place in hell for sons of bitches like this.
Do you have faith in my judgment of design?
100%.
So you're gonna let me do my thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Come on inside. You know, my plan is really simple. Upstairs, I like the layout. I'm just gonna move the bathrooms, and for downstairs, I'm gonna move a bunch of walls and just open it up. Mold abatement's coming in, so we plan to clean things up, go through everything, and see what we can salvage.
Any treasures?
Well, they have albums, they have boxes of their belongings. Wow. Clothes. All right. I mean, anything that we think we can salvage. If it's completely molded, we have an issue.
Turn around and get set up. Get our walk forward.
Imagine your whole life in a garage in a basement. What I mean is photos of the kids, everything you do, albums. I saw a box of albums in the back, books. Imagine all that sitting there and no one caring about it. No one. You think insurance is going to pay for this? You think anyone's going to pay for this? You think the contractor's going to pay for this? Okay, that's definitely family stuff.
Look at the photo albums. Oh, is that it? Oh, that's the stuff, man. Yeah, this stuff's all very valuable, man.
That's the wedding dress. This has got to go to the truck, please.
We're good, thanks. Yeah.
This is a level 3 mold remediation. There are no shortcuts allowed. We have to follow the protocols as they're written. So step 1 is to come in and seal off the basement area from the rest of the house so we don't have cross-contamination throughout the house. We've put heavy-duty poly vapor barrier on the floor, which will be taped on all seams, and that will allow us to put negative air in the basement, which will prevent the transfer of spores from the lower level of this home to the upper 2 levels of this home.
We have a good seal with the upstairs. We know there's going to be no cross-contamination. When we turned the negative air machine on, the plastic came down, so it's perfect.
We're going to separate all the contents. We're going to identify all the fibrous materials that need to be thrown out. We're going to identify if any contents that the homeowner may want to save can be saved. If they can't be saved, they'll be thrown out. For the larger objects, we'll wrap and shrink wrap, and then we'll simply remove them to the outside of the home, and then they'll go straight into the disposal bins once they've been wrapped.
The only thing we could actually salvage was a chest with your pictures in it and stuff. A couple of boxes of we don't know what's in it, and we had that go with the movers yesterday. Anything that is fabric, anything that is, there's so much mold, you cannot fix it. So it's all garbage. I apologize.
It's not your fault.
Not your fault.
I feel like, you know, they've ruined our house and they've ruined our lives.
You know what? It's just stuff. It is. It's just stuff. You know, so you can't.
While they're doing the mold abatement downstairs, we're safe upstairs. Engineers checking structure, HVAC is pulling out ductwork.
What we noticed on this job is they're using basically a standard subdivision type metal, very light 30 gauge. So when the heat and air conditioning comes on, you're going to hear popping in the duct. So it's noisy. You're going to hear some of that noise, and you don't want to hear that. A couple of the things they've missed is the strapping that goes across from joist to joist. And that's for when they put their sheathing of drywall in, there's something to protect that from breaking, or, if you get kicked in against that, you don't break in the drywall. Some of the metal panning they used, again, light gauge, very noisy. And as this being a hallway, a traffic area, you're gonna have that popping noise. So you're gonna be hearing that steady. So again, products we're gonna use a little bit different to make it better. We'll put a thermal pan in, and that's gonna eliminate that noise so you don't hear it.
So walking around, we noticed quite a few things that there's some issues with. If we look at this beam right here, we see that it's made up of 3 individual plies. And you see there's no nails, no bolts in between to connect them as to make it into one big solid beam. To complicate matters is not only, are they not joined together, or what we call laminated, but we have a joint right here. And if we move down the beam, we've got 2 more joints on the 2 outside plies. We only have the dead load, and dead load is essentially just the self-weight of the floor on it, so it's not a lot compared to a live load, which are people and furniture and finishings and things like that. As you start to load that will open up, and what'll happen is, as it opens up, you start getting cracking and you start getting into a failure. So we want to avoid that. One little area like this could certainly lead to other areas if we don't correct this.
Mold growth on the insulation paper. It's obviously wet. There we go, more black mold. Heavy mold on the inside, as you can see.
Wow, lots of stuff in there. Mold, bugs, aphids burrowing into the wood, dry rot in the wood, water in the wood, a lot of damage caused by water, temperature, sitting over time. Everything's gonna have to be ripped out of that basement completely.
So here we had carpenter ants. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow. It's full.
Yeah.
We're glad Mike's here. I thank God he's here. I'll thank anybody I have to that he's here.
You had a ton of mold?
Yeah, the south wall specifically was really covered in mold.
What'd you do, spray those? They look clean.
Yeah, they're sprayed and
sealed
wire
it.
brushed, concrobium wire brushed and HEPA-vac.
Oh, you did this right, didn't you?
Yeah.
This looks really good.
Yeah.
So here we had carpenter ants.
Yeah, you can see there's carpenter ants through this wet wood. It's
Look at them all. Look at how many ants are still living. They're in dormant stage, right? This is their nest. This is their nest. You can see them all on the floor. They're just coming back. It's just warm enough for them to go, hey, what are you doing? It's just because it's so hollow on the inside. Look at them. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow. It's full.
Yeah.
Look at them all. One piece of lumber. It's huge. It's moving. It's alive. Before we can remove any interior walls, we have to fix the LVLs that were cut. LVLs are a laminated veneer lumber. They're good for spanning across long distances because they don't shrink or warp, but they definitely shouldn't be cut. To make it open concept, we need a 400-pound steel C-channel. This will span across the front of the house. We also need a 500-pound H-channel at the back of the house. Once they're in, we can tear out the walls and start rebuilding. One on this side first. Once this side's done, then we'll move it over and do that.
And how far back you want to come?
You're gonna have to support it to all the way right to the edge of that window.
Okay.
We're beefing up the main beam in the kitchen, but first I have to put up temporary studded walls on both sides. This supports the weight above. You can see the bolt pattern. What we're gonna be doing on the back beam there is right now we have 3 beams, so we're gonna sandwich a new LVL on one side. That means cutting out every single floor joist, pulling out all those nails on those frickin' hangers, and putting in a new LVL. Then we're gonna go to the other side and do the same thing. We will run bolts every 2 feet, and these bolts will just lock that beam together and give me the load that I need. Look at them. Go, go, go. Once the studs are done, I want you to get 2 jack posts in the basement. Give me one on one side underneath the floor joist, one at the far end underneath the floor joist. All we're doing here is just putting in 2 jack posts on each side underneath the 2 new blue walls, we'll call it. That's our support, a temporary supporting wall. That's one part. Then I've got a steel I-beam going in. It's actually an H-beam. Then I have 2 more beams upstairs this way, and I have the C-channel, which with another LVL, just to restructure and support everything to pull all the walls down. Okay, since they're still cutting out and prepping for the LVLs, which are coming in place, prep for the plywood. Let's get 2 guys on a floor hammer every single nail in. Work your way in here, staggered sheathing, work your way back. Let's glue it, let's screw it to the floor joists. Claire, welcome to my house. I am restructuring the whole downstairs, right? So I have a C-channel going in with another LVL. I'm picking up load here, I'm coming up underneath. Okay. So the idea is I'm losing all of this. Okay. So it opens up all of this and allows you to come out and use that space for the stairs, whatever you want to do, that we still have our stairs traveling up. Let's get above that if we can. Okay. You tell me what I have to do.
Okay. So we'll want the landing then just enough above the door so that you've got room for your casing?
That'd be great.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
I don't want to use any of that simply because they don't have shuttle valves. So when I create my own manifold, I want to make it better, and I want to install a shuttle valve on each line so that if it comes to service or any installation or repairs, a plumber or serviceman can come down to the basement and isolate just that particular line. With this setup, you don't really have ability to isolate a fixture. You have to shut the main water, drain the entire system to do any maintenance or repairs. In my eyes, that's a waste of time and money that the homeowner would have to pay. I've noticed as I was cutting those tubes that some of the lines had kinks. During the installation, plumber just bent the pipe out of shape, created a plastic deformation, and what ends up happening is even if the pipe goes back to its normal shape, I do have a reduction in diameter, so there will be a point where I'm going to choke the water. So that's part of the reason why I want to get rid of it and replace everything with new.
Okay, knock out the closet if it's in your way.
Sweet.
Okay.
All right. Okay, guys, we ready? Can I get that beam passed up to MJ and I, please, guys?
Stand her up. There's no way that's sagging. An LVL doesn't sag.
It's out. Other beam, that's...
Okay, it means it's pushed up in the center, so that's exactly what I thought as soon as you put that in place. So here's what we're gonna do. After installing the LVL at the front of the house, I could tell the other ones were pushed up. That's a problem. Question is, do I fix it now or after I put in the C channel? Let's go.
One, two, three.
Is it heavy?
I think I'm gonna break it apart.
Practicing.
Watch your back, Yvonne.
Don't drop it, just nice and easy.
3.
Okay, do you want it back at the door again, buddy?
Sure. Plan it, engineer it, build it, fix it. It's not really in there, but we can do it. We have the technology. Okay, is everyone ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Okay.
We're just holding the weight.
Can you push us? It's Ellen. We're on.
Okay, this shouldn't be too hard. Everyone, 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
It's gotta go to you.
Yeah, let's bench press. Let's watch the pocket. Let's watch the pocket. Someone's eyes on the pocket.
It's gotta come back to you guys.
All right, come on.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay. Up.
It's going.
Okay.
Okay, I'm happy with that. It shows really simple. We're flush with the beam on this side, flush with the beam, and I have a spacing right here of about 1/2 inch, 3/8 of an inch right here, which means this beam they put in has pushed up their load rather than being nice and true and level. And unfortunately, it's not. So we're gonna do a temporary lag system on the outside of the C channel to the beams, so I can knock this out and then jack this down back into the pocket.
You get a ladder and cut those out.
Watch your head.
Okay. With the problem solved, we can move to the back of the house and work on the H-beam. We're gonna pick it up and put the one end on here and slowly swing that in this way.
1, 2. What's up? Can we get it up even more? I got it up here. It's okay. Okay. Don't lift it too much.
Slowly, slowly. Let's walk real slow. Real slow.
Okay, we're on. We're on.
Slow. Take your time. Okay, now. You want to go up? You want to put it down and take a rest?
Go up and get the girls to brace underneath it.
All right.
Go on.
Did someone get over there just in case?
Okay, put it down. Okay. You want it flush underneath that beam. There you go.
The beam is heavy, and what I care more about than anything is no one getting hurt. We got the jack posts under each end. We'll breathe for a minute. Move it up. Lift this one up to the mark, get the post ready, and then we'll come back and do this side, okay?
What's up?
Try to go to your mark. Try to go to your mark. Try to go to your mark. Hold on to her. Okay, Sherry, that's good for now. You two stay there.
Yeah.
And if you can, Sherry, hold the post, all right? Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, go. It's all right, relax. Everyone hold still. Drop it on me, please. Once we have the H-beam in place, the welders can cut 2 support posts and weld it in place.
Running a video camera, hoping I would have no issues down below, but unfortunately, I'm coming across a tree roots. This cannot be left like that, simply because as soon as the water starts flowing, waste and buildup will start to accumulate right in front of those tree roots, and it will eventually cause a blockage. The basement will get flooded with the sewage, and the homeowner will be faced with insurance claims and property damage and contaminated areas. So this line has to be actually excavated and replaced with a new section of a plastic pipe.
Once it's in and welded, should have no problem supporting the second floor.
We've had a really good day today. We've pretty well have everything structured throughout the center. We have our welding in place. I'm trying not to look at it right now. He's gonna get over on this side, weld that vertical. I can pull these 3 posts out. This floor will be sheathed today, and the only post that'll stay in place is the one in the center. I got a deja vu. I really have a deja vu, like I've been here before. Not this house, but I've been here before. Peggy Sue.
Hello, Mike. How are you?
See you
Good
again.
to see you.
Don. Good to see you, Mike. Well, it still looks like the same piece of crap that you left, right?
Yep.
It does. On the outside, it does. I'm going to do a bunch of things out here that I'm not going to tell you. And all I can say is that it's going to completely change, including the front of your property. So I'll tell you that much so far. But why I've asked you back is to take you in, show you what I've done, what changes I've made, and what I have in mind. And that way, hopefully, you're happy with it and you say, go, Mike.
Okay.
Absolutely. You're gonna see a slight difference here.
Wow.
Wowee. First, I'll tell you the quick vision I have. If you walk in the front door, I see a closet here. That way you can still view right down to the other side. I see a beautiful fireplace here. And this is what I've already picked it. You haven't seen it yet. This wall is now finished, which gives you that room and the way you set up your furniture with an open concept here. Dining room.
Yeah.
I see putting in the bathroom here because I have the window. So the bathroom will come over. I'll make you a little information station here. And on this side will be full floor-to-ceiling cabinets for your pantry.
Fantastic.
So full floor-to-ceiling cabinets. Okay?
Wow.
Beautiful.
And it allows from this door to the front door, total view. And I also see a beautiful U-shaped big fridge, U-shaped cabinets coming across, an island that steps out that visually sees everything with stools on the other side.
Lovely.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's great.
And I've redesigned your whole basement as well.
I feel a sense of relief, and I know that Mike's going to make it right. And I'm so excited about him being able to give us all of his experience and expertise and being able to design a house that works for us.
I had to put in this steel beam here because their splices were incorrect. I had to cut your floor joist back. So I've sistered 2 new beams to this side and bolted the 5-ply directly across 16-inch on center all the way through. I pick up load here, I pick up load here, correcting what a C-channel that once again is bolted directly across. The C-channel is to actually lock that beam in place so there's no flex. I want to talk about something in the basement. I'll tell you my vision so you get it. I will have your furnace room. I will have a 3-piece bathroom downstairs. I will have an office. You will have a storage room in the back for all your stuff you want to hide.
It looks so different, Mike.
Sure
it just,
does.
wow.
And the blue.
It's like it's a new house, eh, Donnie?
Absolutely.
Gosh,
I
eh?
can't.
I can't believe it.
So let me tell you some of the extras I'm doing. Blue wood. What's blue wood?
Blue wood is mold resistant and bug resistant.
Bug resistant.
Yeah.
Like ants, maybe?
Ants.
I found the biggest ant nest in your house that I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
All in one piece of wood. Carpenter ants don't walk around with a tool belt like me.
Yeah.
And they don't build your house, nor do they take it down, right?
Right.
What they do is they love to find wet wood, and they live there. This nest was so big, inside one stud, that thousands of ants came out. Thousands. Any questions?
I feel really good. You know, I reached out for help to Mike, and thank God he answered the call. And that's one of the 2 good things I've done in my life.
The other one was marrying me.
Well, that's number 1.
Give me a hug. Gentle, gentle. I was working out and hurt myself. I know you gave me a hug earlier and it hurt like hell.
Sorry.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you,
We can't
Mike.
thank you enough.
You just did.
Thank you.
It's $1 million lot with the crappy house. And now we'll have this beautiful house on this beautiful property, and we're so excited and so grateful.
Let's lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 studs. We have our temporary stairs coming in, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna put them up going this way. You really meant it. 2 minutes and you're done. Love it. Why don't you and I do the railing? Let these guys start the walls. Let's see if this is gonna be long.
I definitely want to dress up the front of the house. I'm putting in a big window across here. It's a stone wall, brand new door, more than likely brand new windows, and redoing it foam and stucco on the second floor. Okay. So it'd be nice to fix this up and make it look good. Let's give them something back after this complete nightmare.
We'll get some sod in here. We'll get everything regraded.
Regraded is a good idea. Probably just clear this down just a bit, make sure we got that nice run. Seem to have a little bit of a hump here in the center.
This is easy. It's just figuring out what we want to do as far as their entranceway. You know, I think we're going to get rid of that step. I like to take it out. It's just...
Well, you know, I don't mind that, because look at this. So you want to do a landscape stair? You want to do something like a nice entrance that comes in?
To be honest...
You see my structure on the stairs?
Yeah, that's terrible. To be honest, what I want to do is the landscape stair. The reason why is because we got such a great difference here. And we can even maybe do a few steps coming down in through here.
To pick this up just a bit?
To pick it up.
How do I fix all this and leave that? That's just sad. Okay, we got the scaffold guys sitting on the scaffold, so we're gonna be nice and safe. Martin here doing plumbing, Frank doing electrical. What we can do is finish the structure in the basement.
So I'm cleaning some of the residual plumbing that was roughed in by the previous plumber. I'm actually glad we're starting from scratch. That allows me to bring everything up to my standards, which is above minimum code. Also, I discovered some tree roots and problems underground, and considering that we're doing a new basement wrap-in for the bathroom, that would also allow me to upgrade and replace those clay pipes to new PVC material. So I'm really only breaking up in this corner. You're just breaking up this corner, and you're cutting across. You'll come across a 4-inch clay pipe. Yeah. And that's what I'm going to tie into, and then this will be just capped and sealed. So we're not only breaking up the concrete, we're digging. Yes.
It's funny how the guys called me down, they're panicking. Oh my God, we can't get the washer, dryer, and sink in here, the furnace and a hot water heater. Truth is, we're doing a new furnace. It's going against the blue wall, so I have almost 2 more feet, which I can send to the door, put in the hot water heater, and still have the washer, sink, and dryer. Just it totally works here. Coming over, this is gonna be the open area with the office. This area here would be perfect just for a little storage room, because this way everyone needs a little storage room to store their crap, because there's so much crap everywhere, right?
We're taking the pot lights all down from the second floor here. Mike's not a major fan of having the warm air on this lower level escape through the pot light. So whenever you've got hot air, of course the hot air is going to rise. It's going to end up rising in this pot light, seeping through this metal, and then getting into the cold zone, and vice versa. So we're removing these. At the end of the day, if homeowners really want the pot lights, they should really have, good practice would be to have a proper vapor barrier, a 6mm poly that's actually made for the pot lights wrapped around here.
Let me show you a few things in the basement.
I see the guys have been digging.
I think that when they started this, they didn't realize that how deep the lines were in the floor. So, you tell me what we have to do. You see the void?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to break all that concrete out.
That's correct.
Okay.
I am 2 weeks in on this job. 2 weeks of fixing, changing, not even getting to the point of rerunning the new electrical, rerunning the new heating. So that's 2 weeks so far. That's just right out the window. So probably by the time 3 weeks in, I will be getting back to finishing. Because of everything that was done and what I had to do to fix it, now I have to manipulate the house to work, to run forced air, to run the air return, to run all the drains and the plumbing, and yet still make it look good.
Dom's bringing in a window today. It's going to be 10 feet long, so obviously we got to reframe this whole section. We're also going to reframe in a bit of a bigger door, which means most of the structure off this front wall is coming out.
You can't just tear out the front wall. It's a structured wall to support the floor above. So we're going to use a temporary box beam and a temporary wall to support that weight until we finish reframing.
A box beam is just how the name implies. It's your beam with the top plate and the bottom plate, holds it all together, holds it steady. Gives you a little more strength than normal beam and lets us just put it up temporary. Put some supports under it and it'll help hold the front of the house up while we do this.
So, Robbie, you're going to be putting those two 2x4s underneath the end, okay? Right on your X mark. There's an X mark right on your line there. Made it a little bit bigger.
If you get it level, get it straight, less chance of it buckling, less chance of it crippling. You know, if someone walks into it, it's there, it's set, it's screwed, it's secure. It is temporary, but it's permanent for right now. For the next 2 hours, it's permanent.
Let's put it in, Robbie. Okay.
Come to me? Yep.
What are you guys? Okay, push it. I got it.
That was a great idea. You and Mike deciding to put that big one in. Smart idea, man.
It's good? Yep. Lots of work here, huh? So we're doing all the stonework here?
Yeah, just on the front face here, bud.
Oh, yeah,
You're just gonna tie it back into the sides.
Okay.
The main thing about your cement is that you don't want it too wet. If you have it too wet, your stone will sink on you. And you don't want your stone to sink. I like to parge up the bottom of the stone just a little bit, so it kind of gets a little bit of a better bond. And you want to level it both ways. You want to level it this way. Just tap it down very gently. It's not gonna hurt. Then you want to check that it's level this way. I would never change my trade for anything. I have a very artistic mind, and I love building things. Like, when it's all done, it's just that sense of satisfaction that I built that, and I take a picture of it, and I show my family, I show everybody, and they're like, wow, you built that? I'm like, yeah, I built it. Like, you built that? I'm like, yeah, I built that.
The brick is being laid, the windows and doors are going in, and now we're going to take out the doors in the basement.
This is what happens when you put wood directly onto the concrete. The moisture from the concrete absorbs into the wood and starts to rot it.
Whoa! That is why the most important thing when changing your windows and doors, a full replacement is the best way.
Most people like what we call insert retrofit window, and that is installing a product on the existing frame, but you don't know what's beneath that existing frame. So anyone considering windows and doors should consider full replacement, because any discoveries will be found in that replacement. Issues like this will be solved.
What we have here is a builder's stock grade type window. It's not even custom sized. They just brought this in and tried to make it fit into the opening. What we've done here is measured brick to brick, custom made this window to fit perfectly inside the opening. And that's the only place it's going to fit.
We decided to foam and stucco the entire second floor. I mean, for one, this is great for snow and rain against it. Two, the styrofoam adds some insulation value. Plus, it looks really good with the chiseled stone we're using at the front of the house.
The first layer we're going to apply here is called an air moisture barrier. So air and moisture cannot penetrate through this product. It's basically protecting the wood prior to the installation so that there's basically, if water were to ever get between the two, it cannot penetrate through the foam on one side and it cannot penetrate through the air moisture barrier on the other side. Then we're going to install what's known as the PUX insulation. It's flat on one side and it has circular drainage cavities on the other side. So here's what it looks like on the back. So you can see you have all these circular pucks, but all intertwine and connect.
If moisture does make its way in, there's a drainage track at the bottom. This cavity allows the moisture to make its way down to the drainage track and out.
The next stage would be to rasp or sand the insulation board.
Well, we're sanding to bring the wall plumb, and we're also sanding so we're going to roughen up the styrofoam so the base coat sticks better.
When we are rasping, it does create a huge mess, and that's when we become very unpopular with the neighbors, because no matter how clean and responsible you are, it's just, you know, a little bit of wind, it picks up and it gets everywhere. So we're very fortunate on this particular site that we're enclosed in with tarp, so that our mess can be contained within here so that the neighbors are not losing their minds with us. But we always end up cleaning it up anyways.
Once the stucco's done, Better Contracting can finish the soffit, and we're pretty well closed in. We won't have to worry about water getting in, not to mention animals.
Hey, buds. Okay, you want to run at my face, do you? Okay, well, he's got a bunch of food up here. Okay, relax. You're okay. There he goes. You're okay. Go on.
The homeowners paid over 50% of the budget, out of pocket already, 30% of the work complete. You know, something doesn't jive here. To continue the work, the contractor says, I need more money. That doesn't make sense. There's the trap. 9 times out of 10, homeowners put that money up. Then what happens? The contractor just comes back, asks for more money, and it just keeps going. You need to know when to say no.
Where do I hide? Hold on.
Back in your office.
Let me in!
Okay, Rob, you're next. I want all the employees to give me a kiss. That's how we start our day.